KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
It's a crisis in San Antonio that's gotten worse, homelessness, but it doesn't just affect people who are unhoused. One man is showing us how.
A routine traffic stop for a police officer in Jordanton turns into a life or death moment. All of it caught on camera.
But we start tonight with the weather. Storms are popping up in the San Antonio viewing area.
Adam Caskey standing by with the latest. Adam.
Yeah, and I want to point out that nothing is severe right now, although there is the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms as we go through the night. Nothing severe at the moment, just some loud rain out there, a little bit of lightning and thunder with it. Nothing in San Antonio at the moment. It's all developing west of town, particularly Bandera County. This is actually pretty good for Medina Lake Reservoir here. This is the watershed getting rained on, and you see some heavy rainfall headed toward Bandera. Also moving to the north, around Medina from Tarpley to Medina. This is slowly drifting, so it's that good soaking rain, and it's continuing to develop and fill in west of 281 here and even around and west of I-35. You see near Uvalde some development as well. I expect this whole area to see more rain and thunderstorms fill in the coming hours, so our rain chances will be rising here in town as we go through the night. We'll talk about what's causing this, the very active weather pattern we're in, and just how much rain we could get over the coming days in just a bit.
Adam, thank you. And now let's go to late breaking news from the northwest side of town where we're hearing reports of a shooting.
Yeah, it was the scene just a short time ago at a Smoker's Alley store on West Avenue near I-10 and Vance Jackson. That's where police say a man was shot 4 times.
And right now that person is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. But as of right now, police have not arrested anyone.
We're going to continue to follow this story live. Stay with us on air and online. Also developing news right now, San Antonio police have released a photo of a vehicle they believe was involved in a drive-by shooting this afternoon. That drive-by left a 2-year-old little girl dead. It happened about 2 o'clock this afternoon at a home on Future Drive near West Avenue in Vance Jackson. Police say the suspect's vehicle appears to be a black Chevy pickup truck with a temporary license plate.
Now, police say that 2-year-old Mackenzie Hernandez Garcia was caught in the middle of a drive-by shooting. Happened around 2 o'clock today at a home on Future Drive near West Avenue in Vance Jackson. Police say the little girl was sitting close to the door when she was hit by a bullet. They also say that there were 5 other children inside the home, but none of those were hurt. Chief William McManus says that officers do not believe that little girl was a target.
Again, we are talking about people who opened fire and killed a 2-year-old girl, 2-year-old baby. If you recognize this vehicle or if you know anything that can help police, call SAPD's homicide unit at 210-207-7635. Overcapacity with more migrants on the way. Facilities from the border to San Antonio facing an influx of people seeking help as Title 42 winds down.
And we know the clock is ticking on the pandemic-era rule. As of 11:59 Thursday night, the U.S. government will no longer use COVID-19 mitigation as a reason to expel migrants. The city of San Antonio says that it is seeing a rise in migrant arrivals. Many of those migrants are going to be coming through Brownsville.
As the Night Team's John Paul Barajas explains, recent events there have migrants on edge.
I don't feel safe anymore. No one there feels safe anymore. Everyone there wants to leave. That's what Jesus Moreno, a Venezuelan migrant in Brownsville, tells us. This after a driver ran over a group of migrants there Sunday. 8 migrants were killed, 10 others are hurt. Moreno says he saw it happen and knew one of the victims. It's a moment where you enter shock. The mentality of that 18-year-old that died there was different. He wanted to work. He wanted to buy his mom a house, Moreno adds. Authorities are still uncertain if the crash was intentional. The driver, 34-year-old George Alvarez, is charged with 8 counts of manslaughter and 10 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Right now, it's sacred ground where it happened. People are very careful not to step on the grass.
Sandra Grace Martinez, a humanitarian on the ground, says, on the other hand,
people that are passing by in their vehicles and honking and saying, negative things.
And authorities made a separate arrest today.
2 minutes and 13 seconds passed until the 30-some-year-old comes to.
Almost as soon as I put the fourth dose in is when he came to.
Hey, there you go. Hey, whoa, hey, buddy. Hey, can you hear me?
His chest started rising again. He started breathing.
This is the second time Sergeant Walker has used Narcan to help someone who's overdosed.
Having that antidote available is really, there's no value you can put on that.
Jordanton Police Chief Eric Kaiser says the department's 10 officers started carrying Narcan boxes about a year ago. They are purchased through the help of a state grant.
Instances like this where somebody just made a bad choice, it no longer has to be a deadly choice that they made that's going to cost them their life.
Walker hopes that this
Powerful but small.
Yeah, they've got some heavy rainfall, but right now nothing severe, so they're not packing the severe punch with large hail or high winds. Nothing like that right now, but that can change as we go through the rest of the night, as we will see more development. So far, it's mostly been in northwest Bexar County and then Medina County, northern Medina County into Bandera County, and now stretching up into Kerr County as well. This activity is drifting northward, closer to Kerrville, and likely just to be west of Kerrville, affecting Hunt and Mountain Home. We just recently had development elsewhere in Medina County, south of Highway 90, closer to Divine as well, along the I-35 corridor. This is a 1-hour lapse, and notice how quickly and recently these showers and thunderstorms have popped up in Frio County and Zavala County as well. And this is closer to Uvalde and Crystal City. Switching radar sites for a better view of these storms. There you go. There's a higher resolution view. Nonetheless, this is all very fresh, and as I said before, I'm expecting more development going through the rest of the night, especially in this area west of 281, particularly roughly Kerrville to Bandera, Lakey, Rock Springs, Uvalde, Crystal City, and then a batch developing and then heading off to the east and southeast. That's what I think is the most likely scenario. And we're in a very active weather pattern. We're going to see a lot of rain in the days ahead. There are going to be more opportunities. So if you miss out tonight, don't worry. There will be a period where I do think you'll get a good soaking. Here's the big picture, though. Off to the north, getting near San Angelo, Brownwood area, even toward Burnett, we had some heavy showers and thunderstorms. This is all part of this little circulation you see right here in northeastern Mexico. This is a water vapor imagery. We switch over to this to look for these little subtle features in the atmosphere that are these little disturbances that help generate the showers and thunderstorms. We've got this little swirl right here, and that's what's drifting eastward very slowly. The steering flow is very slow, so heavy rainers moving very slowly, and this is what's going to be triggering them tonight and even on into tomorrow. I hesitate even showing you this futurecast because the high resolution models are notoriously bad in this situation and have been unreliable. But this one in particular, I do think initialized okay. And generally speaking, it shows the trend of more development and activity pushing east and southeastward through the night, tapering off by the morning commute, and then reigniting again. We'll see some more thunderstorms redevelop around the noon hour tomorrow and even on into tomorrow afternoon. Take a look at our rain and storm chances the rest of this week. 50% tomorrow. That's not a coin flip. That means about half of south central Texas should be affected tomorrow. Wednesday, 30%. Thursday, 40%, but then we increase it even more. Friday back to 50. Saturday's the day. Friday night into Saturday up to 70%. Widespread numerous showers. And at any point during this time period, heavy rain is likely to develop. So flash flooding is a potential. It would not surprise me if some parts of our area see a good 5 to 7 inches of rain between now and the end of the day on Sunday. That's not going to be everybody, but some areas, I do think that's going to be a theme. Tomorrow we start at 70 degrees in the morning, cloudy, a 20% chance of a storm, rising to 50% by noon and into the afternoon, 83 the high. Again, flash flooding is going to be one of the primary concerns because of very slow moving, heavy rainfall, but we also could have a few severe thunderstorm warnings as well periodically.
You know, I noticed Medina Lake getting the rain right now. Boy, could they use it.
Oh, they need it.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
So, okay, San Antonio is being repped in the world of college golf.
Yeah, and one UTSA Roadrunner in particular had a great first round at a TPC San Antonio today. I'm talking about Cameron Carrion, who had a fantastic up and down early on that really fueled the rest of her round. Plus, Bryce Miller picked up his first big league win. Coming up.
It's great. Good to kind of put UIW on the map. You know, I always get asked, what does UIW stand for?
Alex Giles loves to rep the University of the Incarnate Word in big board sports. The Spurs basketball player with the colorful hair, Jeremy Sohan, was named to the 2022-23 NBA All-Rookie second team today with 66 total points. Sohan is the 11th player in Spurs franchise history to receive All-Rookie honors and the first since Kawhi Leonard in 2011-12. Sohan joins Detroit Pistons center Jalen Duren, Houston Rockets forward Tari Eason, Pistons guard Jaden Ivey, and Rockets forward Jabari Smith on the 22-23 Kia NBA All-Rookie second team. Jeremy averaged 11 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists in 26 minutes and 56 games played. Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic was fined $25,000 for improper contact with Phoenix Suns owner in Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals last night. Jokic went to grab the ball from Matt Ishbia when he shoves him with his forearm, knocking the owner to his seat. Jokic was asked if he's worried about punishment, and he fired back with, "What about my safety?"
So, but his hands on me, so they're not going to protect me. They're going to protect the fan. I mean, not me as a person, but I'm talking about as a player. Yeah. I mean, they can do whatever, of course. They don't care, but I think they're supposed to protect players.
He avoided suspension and will play in Game 5 tomorrow night when the Nuggets host the Suns, and that series is tied at 2-2. Local college golfers Cameron Carrion and Alex Giles are representing the 210 in the NCAA San Antonio Regional, hosted by UTSA and San Antonio Sports. After 18 holes today, Cam is tied for third place at 1 under par 71. She started on the back nine and got in some trouble on the par 4 10th hole, her first, but she had a great up and down from the greenside bunker to save par. So we asked the Roadrunner, how did that save help her out?
Oh, that felt good. I think that really helped momentum. Off the first tee, I was excited, so I did overturn one a little bit, but I knew that I wasn't going to be in trouble, so that was good. And then the second shot, I hit a good shot. It just didn't, the wind held it up, and then that out of the bunker, I just knew that if I put it like inside 10 feet, I felt confident that I was going to make it. At least I gave myself a chance, and then when I rolled that in, it was icing on the cake, and I was like, all right, let's go. After I got off that green, I actually told my coach, I was like, all right, first hole's over. I don't even care what happens now. Let's just go. Like, I'm just having fun. So that was good, and that felt good to get rolling, get it going on the first hole.
Cam closed with 12 pars in a row and leads the field with 15 through the first 18 holes. UIW senior Alex Giles was paired with Cameron and a golfer from Long Beach State. Alex needed 2 shots to find the green on the par 4 10th hole, measuring 395 yards. She two-putted from there to open her round with par, but she carded a 7 over 79. That's a great score on the TPC San Antonio Oaks course. Trust me, the home of the Valero Texas Open. So we asked her still, what does she want to do better in the second round?
Yeah, definitely around the greens. I struggled with my chipping and pitching and putting, especially on the back nine. My pace putting was not good, but now there's a lot of room for improvement, so I'm excited for tomorrow.
Second round tee times are set, and both Cameron and Alex will tee off at 8:55 a.m. Cam from the first hole and Alex on number 10, and each will be paired with 2 other golfers. This is a 54-hole regional. The Bryce is Right in Seattle after the break. armed with his mustache and one heck of a fastball, Seattle Mariners pitcher Bryce Miller picked up his first big league win Sunday in just his second career start. The New Braunfels High School alum went 6 innings against the Astros, allowing 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, with 5 strikeouts to help Seattle win 3-1. Mariners skipper Scott Service is thrilled for the 24-year-old who's been nearly unhittable.
Today was about pitching. First major league win, Bryce Miller. Pretty awesome. He continues to do his thing, and very impressive. Very aggressive, a ton of confidence. He's not backing off, and that's kind of his team he grew up, watching as a kid, the Astros, and it's hard. You want to get pumped up, and he was certainly fired up and ready to go today.
In 2 big league starts, Bryce has allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk while striking out 15, and his ERA is .75.
That's a pretty sweet mustache, too.
It is.
I'm going to say,
Hey.
Especially for a rookie.
Yeah, mustache envy, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you jealous? Okay, we'll be right back.
An updated look at radar shows an ever-evolving system this evening. So I'll be here in the KSAT 12 Weather Center and especially on our KSAT Weather Authority app, updating you as this system develops. I think we're just seeing the beginning of it. We should see this rain and storm activity increase in coverage through the night. Uvalde, it's starting to fill in around you, and even as we get into the Kerr County area around Kerrville, just south of Kerrville and west of Kerrville now, most of the rain with that cell. And then we're seeing this activity start to move in from Junction and the hill country that's dropping to the southeast. There could be some organization as these clusters merge together. And I do think it has a good shot at affecting San Antonio and Bexar County later tonight, but tapering off by the morning commute.
Okay. Have a wonderful night. Stay dry. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.